Right. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. This is Daisy here. I just have a message for the African community. Please excuse me. I wanted to get on my computer, but for some reason it's running a little bit slow. And it's only because there are several actors trying to tamper with my ETH ports and my network interface card so that they can permanently run a specific logic bomb on my computer to tamper with my internet connection because there's a bunch of white supremacists that are harassing me and stalking my channel. And it was exposed that they have sex in their family, right? So they've been losing all their jobs, getting removed from office, losing all their connections, business deals, etc., investments, because it came out that not only were they having sex in their family, they were using their positions in social work, politics, the bank, etc., to steal people's money, which you're going to hear about, to move people's kids around for sex rituals, 24-hour emergency adoption of Black and brown children into foster care in order to harass their families, right? So there's a bunch of stuff going on right now. So you guys, there's just a few things that I wanted to show you real quick. So now for the African community, you guys are coming here and you're finding out about a bunch of whites that are playing games. They're harassing people. They're playing with the sound technology. What is this? They're looking for herbs, right, for pharmacy, right? They're looking for herbs for magic because these families are sick because they practice incest. And this is where you guys get a lot of money moving from public health into, oh, we're funding rare disease research. Yeah, but I'm sure they have like rare diseases out in Africa. Like, oh no, not really, because they have sex in their family, right? So they've been harassing people. I'm one of those people. They've been stalking people, causing drama, causing arguments, tapping people's phone. And the biggest thing is recruiting other African families to go against African families that fought in the civil wars, stood their ground against Biafra, Haile Selassie, all the harsh and harmful leaders within African history. They're working with those families and causing drama. So a lot of them are asking you to come to dinner. They're feeding you human meat. They're asking, oh, what's your new number? Or no, let's do this type of business here. Use this phone so they can track you, get you implicated in cases, etc. And this is like what's coming out in the African community right now. There's another thing that they were doing. They were playing with magic too. That's another thing. Some of these families were getting paid by white families to look for practitioners, look for voodoo men, juju women, things like that. Some of them were actively involved in doing magic on those families that were harassed, harmed, etc. They got asylum. They're protected because they weren't the ones starting the conflict. That's coming up really heavy, especially in the Ethiopian community right now, that's what they were doing, causing a bunch of drama, infiltrating, harassing people, women coming to get their hair braided, they're putting magic in their hair, causing a bunch of like calamity. So the African community is just not finding out. So that's what's been going on. And then on top of that, these white families harassing me over the fact that I know about space coding systems because I studied Harriet Tubman and Benjamin Banneker, who are the top astronomers, right, in the Black community. Historically, that's what they use their gifts to do. Some of you guys don't know Benjamin Banneker. He built Washington, D.C. And he said that, oh, I got the map for this from my dream. Like I saw it in my dream and it kept on coming. So that's what I put on the map, right? So we have all these people, Blacks throughout history, that retain that indigenous sense. And I'm just here reactivating it in the computer and getting harassed over that, right? So now I sent out an email in terms of like, these are some of the things that the system can do. I put out a whole video. You guys can walk through about different projects, different coding systems, what you can drag and drop from or pick and choose from, etc. My job now is to go be teaching other people so you guys can go ahead and have your systems, right? And have like your platforms ready to go. The biggest thing to know here is that the primary system that I'm going to be putting out is a web browser that's attached to a separate DHCP server and connected to a separate spectrum band system altogether. So because I know something about astronomy and floating points, I know how to code spectrum bands. So I can attach a spectrum file to your NIC card, whether it's partitioned or we'll go ahead and flash it, right? So one of the things that is coming up with that is, okay, so you can go ahead and you can change the way their NIC card works. You can change the type of radio frequency packet type structure, all of that. We can run our own syntax and we have. You guys are going to be seeing a lot on my channel about code, what we've been doing with the coding system, how we've been catching people stealing from people's bank accounts, how we've been catching people who've been targeting certain African families and communities, caught all of them, who's been kidnapping Black and brown developers throughout Europe and the UK to force them to code for free. That's one of the biggest things that they've been doing. What families are working in Sweden, Switzerland, etc., to target kids in school. Here, take this. It's glucose. Okay, good. The kid's sleeping, and then bringing in white pedophile groups to molest these kids for spiritual powers. That's what they got caught doing. I have several people that have come to me about them. Several. So now I just have to show you what's been the repercussion in the African community, as well as the Indian community, right? Another group of Blacks, right? And I want to show you what's been going on because they are playing with these white families on one end, and because they were playing with basically trying to get hacking technologies from these families. Like, oh, if we sell out Mr. Yurger Brees and get his farm for the whites, they'll give us our own coding languages. Then we'll really be big in Ethiopia. Right. Now, one of the things with these coding libraries and languages, it's no different from what's already on the internet. So they're like, oh, we get a new C++, but what's different about this? Oh, it just has different like commands. It's just named differently. So instead of saying print, right, I could say, put this here. But we have our own language. They didn't get anything. So now it's coming out that, okay, yeah, we don't have anything to offer. Yeah, all the whites, the elite white families, quote unquote elite, right? Because, I mean, if you're having sex in your family and doing that type of juju, obviously you're not really elite. So now what's happening here is they don't know what they're doing in computer science. They don't know what they're doing in biotech. There's another round too, kidnapping Black and brown researchers to do chemistry work, to cut up harmful chemicals and stuff like that, because they don't want to get the backlash of it, because they're trying to make fentanyl different drugs, and they're trying to hide the fact that they've wasted a lot of chemicals and created a lot of impact in people's health, and they're trying to make all these drugs so that, look, people won't think that we did these bad things, right? So one of the things here is that these systems, okay, these are indigenous coding systems that are available. You've seen me using them. You've seen that they've worked. You guys have seen me do a lot on the computer with these systems. They work. I've been contacted by Department of Homeland Security, cybersecurity councils, the UC Cybersecurity Council. There's also like another teaching academy. They contacted me. They want me to put my curriculum there to start teaching. But I want the African community to find out about this so you guys can start building your projects. So you mean to tell me that these are some of the projects that we're building, right? A browser that's connected to a spectrum band that no one can tap and access. Okay, good. Now, another thing that we can play with is editing seeds and editing cells and editing DNA in the computer. Okay, new protein modeling and new chemical modeling. These things are all locked because it's that type of technology is from space. So now another thing here too that we can build is a money system. So we can have something where we're running tensor spaces with a specific storage of value. Let me throw up a tensor space that's the equivalent of 2 grams of gold or 3 ounces of gold. That's about like $6,000, $7,000. I can distribute that to every single token in the network and everyone has just that. Or I can go ahead and have that amount going to one token, then distribute it to everybody in the system, right? But why not just do the former? That's way much more fun. So, because I know about chemistry and spiral valence and CPU and all that, I've been bringing these systems down. Assembly language completely rewritten because of what they've been doing. A lot of this is a response to what they've been doing, what they've been starting, right? Some of you guys don't know, a bunch of, some of you guys call them Akata, African Americans started attacking me with black magic. Like, oh, she thinks that she's this because she's African. She doesn't want to practice lesbian sex because she's African. I never said that. That's not what I'm interested in. She's like that because she's African. She's different than us. So let's do that. That's what they were doing. My auntie called several churches. Some of the top churches are watching this right now. Right. Oh, a bunch of Akata people like running around playing with witchcraft. Got it. Right. Do they know that you went to high school in Nigeria? They have no idea. Oh. Yeah, we're all dressed up in bantu knots and dressed up in gele and dressed up in these bubas and dressed up in all these cloth and fabric, and we're still not Africans, no. Because you chose to be a karmic in the community. Now, the funny thing about all that magic and all those rituals, guess what's behind that? A bunch of kids going missing and a bunch of United Nations investigations. How about that, right? So that's what's currently going on in the African American community in regards to what's happening with this. There's a few other things too. And it's about how people that you wouldn't quote unquote, you know, considered like to be, well, basically hood people. They are more indigenous than these people running around talking about some, oh, back to Africa and Ife this and back to my ancestors. The hood showed out on them and exposed them. Because look at these people in the quote unquote hood, low income community. Look at how they're carrying themselves compared to you. You're supposed to be a therapist. You're supposed to be doing this and that. Artist or whatever, leaders in the community, you're playing with witchcraft against an African woman because you're jealous, because you saw that your values are not of an African. Just change. So you thought doing magic on her was going to then bring you her African DNA, which is what you guys are texting about and talking about in groups. Like, yeah. Oh, we're going to be doing energy harvesting rituals or energy transfer rituals or destiny swapping. That's what they got caught doing. So for the African community, that's what they're doing. So they got caught because they were harassing me and things like that. And then the whites that they were friends with started harassing me. You guys got the email. And then what ended up happening here is the coding system. And then, oh, okay, well, let's not tell people that that's what that was about. Then Biafra, oh, don't tell people that our family. No, don't tell people that because they're going to find out what we were doing. Then the Spanish community, no. Don't tell the Spanish community about Daisy because they're going to find out what we were doing with everyone's farms and playing with chemicals and starting a bunch of nonsense with sound technology. I grew up with the Spanish community, so they're here watching this. Right? Andale, right? Ole. So now, okay, so they've been targeting every single group, but I have to show you what happened in the African community. Let's start with Ethiopia and the murders in the Ethiopian community. Mainly, I'm software engineer, Johannes Kedane, because of what their families were doing to try to get, no, we can really use that code. This will be cool. Oh, she's not really like us. You know, we're like different than them. We have like better hair and this and that. So yeah, they'll just pick us instantly. They'll say that we can do this. What are you talking about? Hey, I have a question. Why are you guys so worried about what I'm working on and what I'm doing? Yeah, for Africans, it's like people from a different village coming to see about your customs and stuff like that and like questioning them and trying to evaluate them and things like that, but they're backwards, right? Which is what happened in the community. So this one again, we're going to go to this one. Yeah, Miriam Toure. In the Ethiopian community, playing games, making phone calls, men don't want to date her, playing games on the computer, harassing people, starting nonsense. Yeah, they found her body cut up. Some of you guys remember this one.
5 young women in a car were killed in a violent hit-and-run crash in South Minneapolis. The oldest, just 20 years old.
Police say a speeding driver slammed in.
Yeah, some of you guys remember that. That's when the whole car accident thing first had gotten started because of the magic that their families were using playing games. And there's a mention of a specific daughter, Amna. Some of you guys know her story because of nonsense that they started with this Habasha. I know Amna. It's the one that she makes movies with Tyler Perry. She's his editor. I know Amna. I met Amna my first day of college, like 14 years ago. So you guys know Amna's dad, brother, stepmom, and I think somebody was pregnant or something like that. They all died in some crazy car accident in Ethiopia because somebody was playing with magic and tampered with the car. Yeah, all of that came out in virtual reality because remember, they were uploading us to the sound technology. So something was going on with different families that had this, were exposing certain families and what they were doing. And the president of Ethiopia with like a young girlfriend that's running around causing chaos. So now you guys have seen what's going on with that. Now let me show you what happened in like other African communities. The Ghanaian community, that's done for it. They're going to get exposed with that one. This king that's bringing people to Ghana to get ordained. Whew. And to move fentanyl around that they got from the Chinese. Okay, now we really have a drug gang. Why fentanyl, dog? See, some of the deaths in the African community, just a few. People died because of this. Nikamudia. What? You mean to tell me that I have to get involved in sex rituals with a man? I'm so sorry. I can't talk to you right now. How could you have me doing these types of things? I thought you just said that you just wanted their farm. That should have been it. Yeah, committed suicide. Yeah, Herbert Wigwe died. Helicopter accident. This one. Vice President of Malawi, plane crash. This one, Africa, woo, is so much going on right now. There's so many in the African community. I have to like do another video on this. But several people passed away because of what they were doing, getting involved with these white families. And there was something else that had happened that like really took it to the next level, which is making a deal. Like, okay, we get to go to Russia and study computer science, and they get this man's farm. Or, okay, what do you want with his daughter? To take her back to Russia? Okay, I guess it's okay. You're just going to Europe. Okay. Yeah, yes, 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 yes. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. And something ended up happening where these families made a deal with Russia. Like, you can get this crypto, you can get this code. Yeah, for sure, you can get a coding language. You know who our family is. Yeah, the HTTP protocol, all of that. Yeah, you can get this. Pandas, yeah, you can go beyond pandas. You can get a different NumPy. Oh, really? Okay, yeah, we can do this and we can do that. We'll have our own language. But, okay, they're not doing anything different than the other ones, right? So now they said, oh, you guys can come and do this, but you have to come to Russia and learn. Immediately that they got there, they put them in the war. And they all died. A lot of those men were raped and put in sex rituals. Oh, you think you're better than us? The dark ones? Look at his skin. He's so black. Yeah, that's what they were doing. That's what happened with those families. So now I just have to let you guys know like what was happening with this. Woo! So that's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing and trying to hide that they were playing with the sound technology. They lost everything. So they've been playing in the African community. And they're trying to like find out how to activate my code. Okay, well, if Daisy's Igbo and she knows about this code, I can get an Igbo child. Okay, let's go play in the UK foster system. Harass a family, immigrant family. What do you mean our apartment is so small? Well, we live in this community. It's a 2-bedroom. It's only 3 of us. We feel like that's okay. Why do we need to do 24-hour emergency adoption? What are you talking about? Okay, now we have an African child. Okay, you molest them first, and then we'll have sex, and then I'll molest the child. Then we'll have sex again, and then we'll have spiritual powers, and we can share it. That's what they were doing. That's what they were starring. Okay, I'll put this semen here. You'll take a piece of their hair and do this. You grab that arm. I'll grab this leg. You put this in their mouth. You put that in their behind. And then we'll get spiritual powers. That's what the fuck they were doing. And they got caught. That's what they've been doing. And they got caught. So now they've scattered because everyone found out the game. Oh, so that's what you were doing to incentivize people to play like that. Now we see what's been going on in the community and why people's kids went missing. But you don't have to believe me. Look what they did in America. Yeah, more than 1,000 children. It's way more than that. It's almost 30,000. They got checked for this article. If you go and try to print it, it won't print. New York Post. It said over 1,000 children missing in Ohio in 1 year. That's not even it. Because they played in the foster care system and they play with everyone's kids all at once, playing with magic, playing with fentanyl, thinking that they're getting spiritual powers. That's another big thing too. Looking for coke, not being able to get it, and playing with fentanyl and going crazy. So a bunch of whites, Russians, okay, on drugs, playing with magic. Okay, and you were trying to hide this. Okay, well, Mr. Bobby, Mr. Ozoko, we're sorry. Okay, we didn't know that was going to happen. How did they find out about this? Right. Yeah, people's kids going missing. That's what they were doing. Now, here we go. I've been talking about this in the African community for months and months and months and months, and look what they did. They just put out like this deportation mandate in the UK. And it was saying that Africans are rarely deported, but why all of a sudden these Nigerians? Because, oh, they didn't want to code for us for free. Or we tried to kidnap them. Or, oh, we hacked their computer and stole their work, they told on us. Or we tried to steal their family's farm, they told on us. Yeah, let me show you this one. Okay. All right, so now we see it. So this is also what they were trying to hide, that they were doing that with Russia. And this is like, now you see certain families, oh, he's gone off to Europe. Oh, he went to the UK, but he's in Russia for now. So that's what they were doing, and that's what they've been starting. Now, here is some other information for you guys as well. And then here, some of you guys don't know about this. In the UK, they had a riot Oh, there was a riot in the UK because she was talking about, Daisy was talking about what was going on with these kids in emergency 24-hour adoptions. And they had riots less than 24 hours after putting that on my page because they've been watching what these social workers are doing. A lot is happening because of this. So here we go. Yeah, UK deports record numbers of Nigerians and Ghanaians. And it says deportation flights to Nigeria and Ghana are relatively rare, with 4 since 2024, since 2020. Because now, okay, well, we can't get sex out of you. We can't harass Daisy. We'll use this and say that it's Daisy's fault because she didn't give us code. That's what they do every day in virtual reality. Well, I'm molesting another child. It's your fault because we don't have code. Hey, you just have to know that it's you that's doing this. Have we gotten the code? Right. Russians on fentanyl. So now what's happening here is a bunch of people are getting caught up because of the way in which they started this and how this got crafted with first harassing Daisy. Okay, yeah, we shouldn't have gotten involved in that because her family is in Nigeria, because their family has farms. And then Daisy got harassed in the United States by a bunch of whites because we were running our mouth with them and causing a bunch of drama with them because we saw this stupid one and we did magic on him. It's a bunch of females in the UK that were doing that. One of them got murdered. I have to just show you this. Right. She got stabbed to death because a lot of these females were playing with magic. Like, oh, well, you just thought that, why do you think that you're pretty? Or why do you think this? Why does that, like, Ghanaian woman stabbed to death? Yeah, because they were playing with magic. And they were starting hella shit in everyone's community. They are trying to hide. A lot of these women, they're gonna, they started so much shit. That's another thing that they're doing too. Like, oh, look, she went to go play with magic so we can deport 5 of their families that know her or her dad just remotely. Maybe we just are at a party together or, we just happen to like know people from the same town. All of a sudden they're in my business trying to deport me because one of them was playing with juju and it was backed by child sacrifice. That's the biggest thing. All this magic that they were playing with, ritual sacrifice, mainly from the islands. So this happened, Leeds UK riots, those deportations back to Africa. That's what they've been doing. They're trying to hide that this is what they've been doing the whole entire time. And like trying to hold people hostage for their farms. Like, okay, well, she'll see. And then she'll have to like give us the code because people are suffering because of her. Thank you. That's what they've been doing. That's what these females are hiding. Elizabeth Zola, all of them. Akua from the Ghanaian community, all of them. There's one of them that opened up an African restaurant in San Francisco. All of them are involved. A lot of Yorubas involved. It's unfortunate. So, manhunt after 18 people killed in South Africa mass shooting. This is a compound where they were doing magic. It's not this one. This is the second round. There was one a year prior. Let me pull that one up. Here we go, from 2023, this one. Children's book, chef, this one. Oh, let me go back to that because there's something coming up with the Maori community. The Samoa community, just know that you guys are next, okay? Don't worry, I didn't forget about you, but the Samoa community, Polynesian community is next. There's also something going on with that too that they didn't want to tell you, like, oh, because we were playing with a bunch of magic and we did magic on the whole website of all the judges, on the whole website of the police association, the whole website of the board of supervisors. They all started acting crazy. They're all whites and they started like taking things out on different people and causing drama in everyone's community. They murdered several people within the Samoa community. And then on top of that, somebody was playing with the technology and starting nonsense because there was a family working for the dishonorable ones that played with Dole, different farming companies, and they went to go say, oh, let's target this family. We can get this farm, or we can get this, or maybe we can get a little bit of cannabis to sell, right? So that's what was going on in the Samoa community. That they did it in everyone's community. It started a huge war. The men that they killed, though, it's the high priest that they killed, though, and the women in Africa and other African men that they deported and killed. That started a big war, right? And kidnapping a black men and women, like, oh, we can have sex with them in immigration jail and then get spiritual powers. That's what the fuck they started because people saw me coding and then they saw something in black and brown people because they put me in virtual reality to be spied on. And that's how it started. Puff and Jackie and their child murdered South Africa. Why? Playing with spell work. Playing in Guyana, playing in the Indian community. tapping the phone, causing drama. Right? And then now you see it here in South Africa. Yeah. So that's the secret hand that's been running a bunch of nonsense and starting a bunch of chaos. So I just have to tell the African community, like, what's going on. Oh, India, I didn't forget about you. Now look what happened in the Indian community. Yeah. Yeah. Playing games, starting nonsense. Yeah, look at this. Indian family. Yeah, this is still to be discussed. Mass murder of Indian families. This is like very major. She's not the only one. It was like 8 of them, back to back to back. Mass murder of Indian families. Mass murder of Indian families just in 2024. This is 2023. This is 2023. This is 2024. This is 2020. I think the end of 2023 or beginning of 2024. These are all within the last year. Yeah, this is all of them got killed. Mass families. Mass deaths of families. This family too. All of them, they died. Yeah. Family at 30, they all died. Let me pull this up. They're developers. Let me pull this up. Yeah. Oh, this isn't here. There was like one in Maryland that was like very extreme and intense. I don't know why I can't see it. It was specifically, oh, let me see if I put Baltimore or I'll just put DC area. Oh, yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna find it. It's like there's like 3 more families. And then this ended up happening too. Indian students' deaths in the US. The community wants answers because so many of them passed away. It's like dozens upon dozens upon dozens of them passed away that people are now like looking into like what happened and how this is getting started. Yeah. Yeah, it's let me see, death of Indian students. Yeah, back-to-back deaths of 7 Indian students. The number has risen. Yeah, American Indian family dead. Yeah, because they were playing with that computer and starting too much shit. And it's the virtual reality that got it started because a lot of people got uploaded to the virtual reality so people can like spread information and tell. All of these Indian students passed away. Hella stuff is going on. So a lot of people are trying to, yeah, hide the fact that this is like really going on and now everyone's finding out about it. And I just had to say something. Something else that I wanted to talk about too is one of the Akata. I saw her the other day at one of these stores. So remember, this started in like 2019, right? But they've been harassing me and slowly building up stuff since like 2014, 15. One of the Akata that was involved in this, they target certain people like, oh, she thinks she's moving fast. We can slow all of that down, right? Like, I'm the queen of Oakland here. I'm building people up in the black economy and this and that. Cause that's like her claim to fame. Like, oh, building black economies, even though no one around her has any money and she's living off PPP loans and getting paid to do spell work. So I ran into one of them the other day. This is after kidnapping attempt, my apartment in Atlanta, right? Coming around my house shooting because they're getting exposed. Playing with a bunch of magic driven by ritual sacrifice, playing with different white supremacist groups, making up text messages and emails and trying to look for spoof apps to make videos, all of that stuff. So I ran into her at like a bakery and I was like, oh, you're here. So what are you doing? Playing with spell work and starting all this in the community? Because you have so much mouth when you're spreading conversations about who Daisy is, but you don't have anything to say. This woman, I took her phone because she was putting her phone on my face. I took her phone, I took it to OPD to file a report. They said that I committed a robbery, a 211. Right. But you did all of that and it's on record. And it's in their financial statements. Okay. They have all kinds of financial transactions paying people across the state using different payment solutions here and there, Western Union, MoneyGram here and there. They all got caught. So now my question is, okay, but why didn't the police investigate that first? Oh, well, because we were hacking her computer and playing games with her and starting a bunch of bullshit, trying to look for information about her chemistry work. And she told on all of us playing with drugs in the community. because we started robbing the black and brown community looking for drugs because we can only find fentanyl. Okay. Yeah. So we watch your channel. We know what's going on. Thank you. So now you see the secret hand that's been playing games in the African community and what they're insinuating and why they're playing. Okay. Okay. I don't know how long this can go on. They want that code. There's nothing that we can do about that, but we said that we can get the code. Yeah, but I didn't know what code they were talking about. Sure, yeah, we know how to do that type of code. I didn't know that they were talking about this type of system. I think that they're trying to set us up so they can say that we defaulted on our contract. That's another thing that they've been doing. Because people are stupid enough to go cloud chase, right? So, right. Nonsense, playing games like, oh, she's an African, the ritual will be stronger. Nonsense like that, and getting caught playing with a lot of people. So then, public defender, there's 3 on the case. One of them, oh, you think this is, it sounds like, a conspiracy that you're believing that all these people are coming after you. Okay, because I have sex in my family and you embarrassed us. Like, you weren't supposed to tell on us. Okay, you just weren't supposed to tell. Like, everyone should know, like, you don't tell on whites. Oh. Okay, now I see what I did wrong. Getting harassed, rigging court cases, stealing money out of my bank account, sneaking to my apartment in Atlanta, starting nonsense. I come with my own system. I leave everybody alone. Okay, well, I can just do this. This is cool. I can teach other people. Hacking my computer, starting hella shit, hacking everyone's IDE, hacking all the major black and brown and African tech groups, etc., looking for code. Cool. I see, yeah, that's definitely has something to do with mental health. Is there something you need to tell me? So now recommending like, well, if that's the case, then yeah, I'm gonna have to do this and you have to do that and da 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 da, which is fine. I've already contacted hella people about it. Like, it's done. It's really done for. Something is really done for with that. And then now the Africans are finding out about this. Like, oh, so you mean to tell me that in computer science, the Ordinani system has come out. So we have a system for physics, tensor spaces, and all that. So you thought that you were gonna sacrifice our village, play with me with Xiong, put your bodily fluids in liquids or juices or wine, and then you'd be getting spiritual powers off me because I'm Igbo. And then you promised my daughter and my children in the States that after you deal with me, that you're gonna promise them to Russians. Wow. You're doing a lot. As an African, you're doing the wrong thing. So now, because I'm watching this, because I lived in Africa and I've been whipped and beaten, all kinds of stuff. So I know exactly, like, wow, right? So I know how to act, right? Because African state of mind, why are you doing that? Are you crazy? Like, are you mad? Right? It's like, are you mad? No. Like, are you mad? Like, no, my state of mind is okay. I'm fine. So, right. Right. So now the African community is finding out, like, okay, so that's what you guys have been doing the entire time. So we could have been doing all of this. All of our projects are delayed. Africa is suffering with electricity and oil. Oil's leaving the planet. We can have a system where you can use the latitude or longitudinal aspects of the grid, and then you can attach like some type of like programming system where people can just type in their coordinates, and then electricity goes to their house. A satellite pings towards their light box. Or we can just upload a spectrum band or a server, a tensor space running copper or electricity. Because electricity has a chemical sequence, right? That I know how to find. We can go ahead and we can stream that to your electrical box, to your meter or whatever, and then you got electricity. The seed editing, I've already tried it. I have photos. It started a big war in pharmacy. Already done. The coding, it's already here. Been doing that. Drama. So I just want to tell the African community, so that's what they're doing. So let me know when you guys are ready to work, because I'm just going to be sitting here like working, trying to. Oh, that's another thing too, playing at work. Like, oh, well, Mrs. Okereke. Yeah, she thinks that she's like all nice. Look at her in her older age. She thinks she's all nice and beautiful. And well, let's show her something. Let's see. We'll fire her and then we'll attack her son just because she thinks that she's aging better than me. Let's show them. That's what they start. You're at work, potlucks. Oh, here's a plate. You're having galas at work, or you guys go out to eat. Oh, here, human meat. Because I know the server and I know the restaurant because we stole all this product from a different farm so they can start this restaurant. Right, which is coming up really big in the vegan industry. Everyone getting robbed. And where'd you get that recipe? Oh, because you're using a sound technology to get access. I think I'll call a lawyer. I thought you guys wanted to partner. You can call a lawyer. We already have one. Let me bring her into the meeting. Okay. So, I just wanted to let you know I've just been watching. We have several investigators. We've already looked into you. We've already found what you were doing, thanks to Miss Olsen. Thank you. So you owe us this much, this much, and this much for uploading me to that technology to steal my ideas. So this is the big thing that's going on now. How to hide that they did that. How to hide that this is how they started Biafra War and several other wars. Putting magic on people too. That's a big thing too. Putting magic on some of these families that they went to go recruit. But you see their children. So you know what families, because look at their children. So anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that's what's going on. Thank you. I'll be at your parties very soon. You guys know me. You haven't seen me in years. I'm very tall now. I still look the same. A lot of you guys are just going to remember me because of my face. A lot of you guys know me because of what got started with my auntie in the UK. A lot of you guys know me because of those churches that are really on people's behind. A lot of you guys know me because of somebody else that's really been handling people with the different rappers. Some of you guys know me because of Davido. Some of you guys know me because of Central C and the UK. Some of you guys know me because of my brothers in the UK, in the African community. Yeah, and what's going on with those UK drill rappers and playing games with, I can't even say that. Playing games with my stepmom. Some of you guys know who my stepmom is. She used to be married to Pastor Chris Okotie. Something very serious has come out too about that, and then playing with her with DNA testing. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. Like, they started so much. A DNA testing? Oh! Yeah, well, Igbos, traditionally, they eat ugbono and agusi. So maybe if we sacrifice Daisy or we do this, maybe we can get these kids and we can feed them this, and then you eat it at the same time, and then you molest a child, and then you can get spiritual powers. Okay, just throwing out ideas. Because they got caught. Because now tech belongs to black and brown people. Now you see why nothing's been happening in the tech industry. Now you see. Now you know. Something else that I wanted to show you too, oh, that's not happening in tech. And I'm sure they have ideas. And what do you mean you can do stuff like that on the computer? You can. You want to talk to my mom? Yeah, my brother, he died during the war. I want to know what family set him up, because he was supposed to go over there and pick up yam. And then all of a sudden they said that grenade came. So it was you. On my brother's way, on that trail, it was you that ambushed him because who our father was, just to bring my father out with Cain. Okay. You can see all of that because you can talk to them in space. Why? It's just a specific type of communication protocol. They have them in space. So when you're talking about HTTP protocol, internet protocols, all that is an aquatic being. Okay, here's my tail. Here is my divination marking. Here is one of my tendrils as a jellyfish. You can use this to run those protocols. That's how this got started, because it came out that black and brown people are aquatic. And this is how they went to go blow up a huge aquarium. They did, because it was the aquatic beings playing with magic and doing a bunch of stuff and causing a bunch of drama. That I can't really talk about. That's a longer story. Aquatic beings. Africans are not supposed to be eating seafood because we're part aquatic. Our aquatic being runs the ability for us to code and learn about these systems. We couldn't get this because we had to honor the aquatic being. They run this. That's how they brought us down to this planet and started slavery. They made copies of our aquatic beings, and they were spying on them when they were having sex and giving birth to their kids. Space. Karmics. So let's look into this. Aquarium explodes, but I wanted to also remind you guys about this. The way that this is going on, aquarium, what do you mean? Black people being aquatic. Okay, and we have our village and that type of thing. So that means that if I'm from this village, we can have this aquatic being. But if you're from that village, you can also have that different type of aquatic being. They can both be octopuses, but they do different things. Thank you. So my octopus is for the digital reality. Not everyone has a digital reality octopus. Some people have a beauty skincare octopus. Some people have a cell regeneration octopus. They run the magic that runs these things. So you're wondering who runs the internet? It's an octopus that has 2 tentacles, and he hides in different places because he created the internet and helped create slavery. Like, oops, I didn't know that was going to start. Fuck. Okay, but can you really stop that lynching? You guys are on your own. Call me when this is done. And they called him later. Like, okay, you guys have successfully done this. I wasn't involved in slavery. Don't know what you're talking about. Have no idea. Okay, I remember that. Actually, I'm taking different drugs in space to wipe my memory. These aquatic beings, they play with spell work too. Lai, they want. Lilonol, they want. Pamwine, Agbalumo, Chai, all of it they take in space. And this is how they lose their mind. But some of them, that's how they get more spiritual powers, which is where white people come in. Okay, if we get this herb and that, and this and this and that, and then we get this blood of this child, and I molest this child, then I'll be well again. Isn't that what they started in South Africa? That's how you get rid of HIV. So now you see what happened to all these kids in the foster care system and what they're doing in the UK. So now, aquatic beings, virtual reality, thousands of Black people get uploaded to a technology. The technology works off physics. Black people have been known to have a specific type of physics. They're usually taller, their hair pattern, they have a certain chemical in their skin that has a certain type of geometry in the chemical, the separ. We threw that technology at them, and what got thrown back was a big portal, and it exposed as space. So you mean to tell me people were talking into the virtual reality and telling who killed them? That's why Drake got exposed, because it came out that his hand was in the death of Pop Smoke, King Von, and Ermias, Nipsey Hussle. Africa community stand up again. That's how this started. Ermias. For years I've been talking about it. Oh, I keep on seeing him. I never really listened to his music, so I was like, I don't know. Is it because I listen to your music? That's why I keep on seeing you? That's what I was thinking at first, but I'm seeing other people, but I don't listen to your music like that. Nothing against you, but I listen to jazz music a lot, things like that. Okay. How were you talking to me and how am I seeing you, Ermias? Daisy, don't worry about how I died. Get out those tarot cards, you'll find out later. Okay. Me and my brother Ermias every day. That's how that started. Yeah, because in the spiritual world, he had just passed away. He was sitting right there, calling everybody in LA. That's how LA blew up in gunfire. Again, that's why Drake is getting set up. So, okay, that's a problem. That's a big problem. And then there was like this company. Oh, we can sacrifice Daisy, then we can put her blood in the metal, and then the CPU will run it. Okay, but you have to molest the child first, and then that's how you activate the CPU. Okay, then the child has to chant this and say, I give you all my spiritual powers. That's not how you do it, dude. How did I get all this? It's because I studied Benjamin Banneker, astronomy, the first clock, the almanac, when to plant certain things, how they're going to grow, and Harriet Tubman. Reading also certain books, just tuned in, not a sellout. Odenani came to me. So now let's look into this. Yes, I speak and I understand Igbo too. I've taught myself, but I'm still like learning. Also too, something's going to come out with that in a minute. I can't talk about it too much. So now let's look into this. Berlin aquarium explodes. This happened during the virtual reality simulation because the fish were playing with too much magic. So really, this came out, and then another one came out, Aquarium by the Bay. Yeah. So the Aquarium by the Bay, the CEO, he went to go tell them that they were taking blood from a shark for spell work. Yeah, and this came out while this whole thing was like going on. But remember, you guys, I've been telling you guys this for months that that's what they were doing. They're like doing DNA testing on Black and brown people from different groups to see about like, oh, okay, can we activate magic like this? And can we activate this herb? And like, oh, you need a certain type of system, a chemistry system to activate this herb or activate that herb. Like, oh, I remember this type of a goosey. It used to be like a sweet one, or there was this type of a bono that was like cinnamon. It was a little bit sweet. Things like that. Like, oh, we used to use this thing and make pap. All those things, if you want to grow them, bring them back, you have to play with chemistry. There's also something too in the African community for chemistry. It's like a type of tool, and you can look at a plant and you can identify what functional groups are in that plant for chemistry. Okay, so that changes the whole game. That's what they've been looking for, talking about they're going to be doing rituals. That's what they've been doing, right? So now you guys know the secret hand that's been playing in the African community.